Hi, I'm Sarah Wilder, and this is part 6 of How I Survived the Man I Married. In part 5, I talked to you about the second and third psychic medium readings with Peter from January 2019. We heard a lot of stuff. Not all of it great, but all of it important. And I just wanted to tell you a couple of things about that information. Mainly that my life purpose that Spirit gave me, that it was to work with women victims of domestic abuse and domestic violence. I was confused at the moment in that reading. I was confused on the drive home and for a very long time afterwards. I want to say a couple of years afterwards. At the time I got the reading and that information, I hadn't identified with my own abuse. I hadn't identified Jim as an abuser or even as a narcissist. So that was the biggest thing that confused me. I mean, our life up until that incident at his job in January 2016, where it changed him. And I mean, my soul told me he was changed on a tectonic level, deeply. From his soul, he was changed. So everything changed after that. But prior to that, I felt like I had a lot of power, a lot of freedom. I made a lot of decisions. Jim didn't get involved much, didn't seem to interfere much. But now that I know what I know, that was the long leash they give you to placate you and keep you, acquiescent so they can get away with what they want to get away with. Anyway, we had strategic peace at home, day to day. We still went through familiar motions. We've been married, 3.5 decades. So, I cooked and cleaned and did laundry for the two of us, and he drove us to the store to do shopping. But the best part of my day was, every day up until 3:30 when he was at work. After that, it was just mainly silence, and, we were in separate rooms. So this next reading, I'm going to give you the fourth reading today. This is from March of 2019. I will tell you ahead of time, it's serious, it's intense, but there's sensitive information in here about difficult topics. And I have to use the appropriate language. So on this platform, this video will be published and not chopped to bits by the algorithm and the censorship. So bear with me while I use alternative terminology for what I'm trying to say. This reading is from March of 2019, and it started off with my dad, Colonel Frank, all business. He came through first, stating that we had a lot to talk about, and we needed to get started right away. He brought forward my mom. She was right there from the get-go, who offered big hugs and kisses, and she congratulated me on cultivating self-confidence. Mom and Dad told me not to be fooled by Jim's newfound docility, that he's feeling afraid because I've learned about some of his bad behavior and he's been backing off that, not wanting further confrontations. And he's feeling really exposed by these multiple readings. He's doing damage control. My folks encouraged me to stay strong, keep focused on my goal of getting away from him, and to continue to trust my heart and intuition for the truth. Jim's higher self came in next, informing me that he's been playing a lot of mind games with me as of late, and that he may try to turn our kids against me, diverting blame by portraying me as a liar and a cheater. Spirit told me that it knows I've been seeing some relevant things in my dreams lately and to trust those as premonitions. My mom shared with me that when she was alive, she had very strong intuitions too, and she passed those down to me, as was done for her by previous generations of female Italian progenitors. And my girls have those as well, got them from me. My higher self then entered, encouraging me to continue to get stronger so I can get on my feet. She disclosed that Jim has been hiding things of a financial nature from me and to beware of any matters regarding my trust fund and life insurance policy, because he's preparing to do something in opposition to me. She told me that he knows the reason I'm quiet and disengaged when he's home is because I'm on the defensive and the divorce is imminent. I'm cautioned to distance myself from him bit by bit in preparation for when I leave. Peter then asked my higher self about when things will materialize, when this impending division will reach its breaking point, and her reply was August 2019. Then he asked how this will transpire, to which she said, I'll catch him in an act, finding evidence of his transgressions. Peter shared that he sees me moving back to California to live with my daughter Becca, where it's a safe haven for me, where I'm loved and I'll go stronger there. And he said that my kids are only connected to me, not in any way attached to their father, Jim. I'll pause for a second and say that's about the Mormon religion's temple marriage. With temple marriage, A husband and wife are sealed together for forever, for time and all eternity is the terminology. Any kids you had up until the point go with you to the temple for that sealing. Any kids you have afterwards are sealed to you automatically once you have them. Bring them into the family. So Spirit was letting me know I basically had a temple divorce. Yay! So my higher self then entered and said that I'm in what's called a gauging period, thinking strategically, and that Jim isn't involved with anyone at work for the moment for fear of being discovered, as with his involvement with Phyllis, the woman I found out he was texting and messaging that you heard about in the other episode. Peter saw May 2019 as a time when I may come across some strange information regarding Jim's activities and maybe some online things. He saw that Jim has an online dating profile where he discloses himself as a retired cop, which garners him a lot of attention online and with in-person meetups. I'm told that Jim's most definitely addicted to corn and other related activities. I asked Peter if he can ask Spirit to explain to me why Jim is this way. But what I heard rocked me to my core. Spirit told me that Jim endured childhood harm growing up, as did his siblings, and that Jim also hurt his siblings in the same way, thinking it is how love is expressed in their family. Peter sensed Jim's childhood household as being very dark, that the abuse was initiated by a parent, likely Jim's father, from whom Peter felt really bad energy. This pattern of behavior in their family was broken by me upon marrying Jim. Peter explained that Jim has always been this way, a cheater, concerned only with satisfying his needs, and he will always be the same. Jim has developed a chemical imbalance in his brain due to the childhood trauma. This early exposure changed his brain chemistry from what it should have been, given a healthy, safe environment, to one where Jim experiences urges as his brain generates subjective wants and needs, impulses, which he then obeys. Furthermore, Spirit continued, in response to the actions he takes, Jim has developed the abilities of a pathological liar, whereby he's able to create false memories, supplanting the truth of what he does with a more palatable narrative, thereby avoiding what he feels about being unable to control his urges and what they drive him to do. Peter felt that information about some of Jim's activities may come to light soon because he won't be able to continue to keep it all under cover. My higher self intervened at this point to offer a warning. She advised me to set up a safe word to use with my family when I'm in a moment of chaos, in distress, so that in doing so, I can get help when I need it. She saw me alone, my emotions in a state of complete shock, unable to accept reality and not thinking correctly. I'll have a complete breakdown, falling into a dark hole. Peter emphasized my higher self wants me to be aware of the potential for this scenario and to take steps to prevent it. I'm going to pause here and stop for part 7, where we're going to continue this reading. There's only a very small amount left. It's a little tiny ghost story, and that will conclude the reading in the next bit. It's a cute little ghost story. If you'd like to know more, please remember to like, follow, and share my story to take it one step closer to publication. Ladies, I invite you to step out of the darkness and into your power.